Today, a brand new Deadlock patch just dropped, and it's actually a significantly large patch compared to the previous ones with some big news inside. So we're going to quickly go over it so you don't have to, and I could hopefully sum it up for you. I'll also leave a link to the patch notes in the description of the video, just so if you want to read the whole thing you can, but it is pretty long, so I'm just going to try to cover the key points.
I might have quit. You should have been back by now.
To start off our changes, we now have matchmaking 24/7 for all the regions. Now you won't have to wait for those odd times to play the game. You can just play whenever you want. The minimap changes well with new hero icons, as well as the jungle creeps being highlighted with a glow, so you could easily identify the buildings they're in. The orange lane is now green lane. I don't really know the significance of that, but I guess that's cool. There's also a behavior system, so just every other game, you say some bad stuff in chat, you'll get chat banned. If you abandon games, you can get low prio matches, just, the fun things. New players will also be put in queues with new players until they get 4 wins, so you won't have to worry about getting curb stomped if you're brand new to the game. 6 queues will no longer be matched against solo players, so if you're solo queuing, you won't have to worry about just getting absolutely rocked by a 6 queue who's been playing for way too long. And then AFK players will automatically be kicked. Last significant thing from this part of the patch is that the lane allocation will never be 1-1-2-2 or 2-2-1-1 again. So this just means it's going to alternate the lanes.
That big guy's weak.
So as you can see here, the game that's currently going is an old match game, so the lanes match up are 1-1-2-2. But unlike this new lobby, you can see the lanes are 2-1-2-1. I just think this is so the lanes that have 2 people can easily rotate to the other lanes that have 1 person to assist them. The next big changes come to the map, adding access to the lane shops from the quote-unquote no man's land. It's also covered and has a veil over it, so it's not too overpowered. It does provide some safety. Here you can see some pictures of that. So you have a little hallway going out to the lane, and then this is what it looks like from in the lane. The second half of the map changes add more terrain to the base, so it's a little bit more protected, so you could fight for your patron. Then they also got rid of the stairs in the slot machine rooms and replaced them with ropes. I guess it just makes the movement a little bit more smooth and just a little less clunky. Next come the hero buffs and nerfs. So we're just going to quickly cover them. I'm not going to read the whole thing out to you guys. But Abrams is more of a nerf. Bebop was kind of a neutral, they didn't nerf him too bad, but they didn't buff him too much. Dynamo was definitely a nerf. Grey Talon was more than a nerf than anything, it was a little bit more balanced, but I would definitely lean towards nerf. Haze was kind of more of a routine fix to stop some glitches from happening. Infernus was a rather neutral, both a buff and a nerf, and then Ivy was a very small nerf. Kelvin was probably the biggest nerf of this game. I honestly just don't think he's as cool anymore. Basically, his ult can't help you destroy objectives or take the rejuvenator. It makes him invulnerable in a frozen ice. Lady Geist was a small buff. Lash was definitely a buff. McGinnis is well a buff. Mo and Krill also a buff. Paradox is more of a fix, nothing crazy. And then Pocket was a slight nerf. I wouldn't say it was too bad, but just a slight one. Then 7, I would almost say was a balance, but I kind of lean towards slight nerf. I guess I'm a negative thinker. Shiv as well was a slight nerf. Vindicta is kind of balance, but could be seen as a buff if you're actually pretty nutty with your shots, because the headshots on her assassinate are exponentially stronger. Viscous, definitely a nerf. And then Warden, I would say, was more of a nerf than anything. Wraith was just some balancing, nothing crazy on the nerf or buff side. And then Yamato kind of was a nerf. I kind of think she's more like Abrams now, just easily parryable, and then her abilities just got nerfed a little bit. Now orbs will also favor the claimer rather than the denier, so if it's a close call, it's just going to go to the claimer. The flex slot was moved from the first walker to now first 2 walkers, as well as all abilities and item cooldowns increased 6%. Max respawn time is now going to happen at 35 minutes rather than the previous 40 minutes, and then the T4 items have been reduced by 100 souls, as well as the shield regeneration time being reduced from 60 seconds to 50 seconds. Now, like I said before, this isn't the full patch notes. I kind of just went down to what I thought was important for you to know right away. Every item group was definitely changed, either in a buff or a nerf. They also added more miscellaneous changes, as well as UI changes. But like I said, I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.